was talking earlier about the problem with relationships now is that there's no clear structure. Nobody knows what their role is. Everybody's trying to do everything. Everybody's trying to pay all the bills. Everybody's trying to be the primary caretaker. Everybody's trying to be the romantic one. Everyone is trying to be the power partner. Everybody's trying to just do everything. Everyone, I am everything, and you are everything, and it's just. Anyways, what I wanted to say here in the power struggle phase in terms of practical tools is this, right? There is a public narrative out there, which the interesting part is that even people that don't consider themselves Christian or identify as Christian will still talk about leadership and submission, which is actually quite fascinating, right? Where the man is supposed to be the head of household. He's supposed to be the dominant one. He's supposed to be the leader. And then the wife is supposed to be the submissive one in the relationship. The interesting thing here is not that I disagree with it, but the word submission has a negative connotation. And I think the reason it has a negative connotation is that when you're thinking about a relationship or a marriage, what I need every single man to understand is that if you expect to have a partner, a wife that is submissive in your relationship, who submits to you, who plays that role of submission in your relationship, is that the key part of the word submission there is mission. The reason I say that is because what she's doing is she is following your mission. But in order for her to follow your mission, you have to clearly know what your mission is, and you have to clearly be able to verbalize and explain that to her so that you both know where you're going. You, as the man, if you expect to have a wife that plays that submission role, you have to be able to draw a map of where your destination is. Hey, babe, here is our destination. And you have to be able to map out every single milestone on that map so that your wife knows when we get to marker 1, we're then going to marker 2, we're then going to marker 3 and heading toward our end goal, toward our mission. The problem is we have a bunch of men running around, no clue what their mission is, and saying women are supposed to follow them. Women are supposed to be submissive. Women are supposed to play the role of submission. To do what? Where are you going to? What is your mission? What is your end goal? What is your destination? They can't even answer that. So before you go looking for a wife or a woman to play that submission role, you have to first know what the hell your mission is. Where the hell are you going? Where the hell are you steering the ship to? Most men can't even answer that. But they'll have this expectation that just because they're born male, they're supposed to be the leader and, the head and the one that leads that relationship. And the reason I'm saying that in the power struggle phase is because of this. Often what happens in the power struggle, and people may not like it when I say this, right? Because you're not allowed to say things like this anymore. But often what happens in the power struggle phase is you take in a heterosexual relationship, at least, you have a man and a woman who both unconsciously desire to play traditional gender roles, but consciously will say that they do not desire that because it is taboo now to say that. It is taboo for him to say that he wants to be the head of the household. It's taboo for him to say he wants to lead the family. It's taboo for him to say he wants to be the dominant person in their relationship. And it's taboo for her to say that she wants to play the role of submission. It's taboo for us to say that consciously, but often subconsciously, people still have those expectations, and when those expectations are not being met, it will create resentment in that relationship, and it will just intensify that power struggle in the relationship because you have two people that know what they actually want unconsciously, but consciously they're trying to keep up with society and, force themselves to want something different, even though they're not happy within that structure. Do you get what I'm saying? Choosing a structure for your relationship. The egalitarian structure is the belief that men and women are equal in worth and should share equal roles and responsibilities in all areas, including marriage, family, and leadership. The complementarian structure is the belief that men and women are equal in worth but have distinct, God-designed roles in marriage, family, and leadership, with men typically leading and women supporting. Although these terms are mostly used within the Christian context, if you are agnostic, atheist, or secular, these terms can still be helpful in choosing your desired relationship dynamic. The egalitarian structure. Both partners share equal power, responsibilities, and decision-making, emphasizing fairness and mutual contribution. In the complementarian structure, partners embrace distinct but complementary roles based on strengths, preferences, or agreements, rather than traditional or religious norms. The pros of the egalitarian structure are: promotes equality and mutual respect, encourages shared responsibilities, flexible roles based on skills and interests, empowers both partners to lead and contribute equally. The egalitarian cons: may lead to conflicts over roles and decision-making if not well communicated, can feel less structured for those who prefer defined roles. Both partners may feel pressured to quote-unquote do it all equally. Some may struggle with blurred boundaries or decision-making. The complementarian structure pros: clear division of roles and responsibilities, leverages each partner's strengths, provides structure and stability, and reduces role conflict. The complementarian cons: can reinforce traditional gender stereotypes, may feel limiting or unequal for one partner, imbalance in decision-making can lead to resentment, and assumes both partners agree on and fit into these distinct roles. If you choose the complementarian structure, it's important to understand what healthy leadership and healthy supportiveness look like. To download a complete copy of this list, visit us at couplesdevelopment.com and click on free resources in the menu. In this video, we're just going to go over the bullets. What healthy male leadership looks like: he serves sacrificially, he listens actively, he leads by example, he encourages growth, he makes decisions collaboratively, he protects lovingly, he takes responsibility, he provides stability, he loves unconditionally, and he seeks spiritual growth. What unhealthy male leadership looks like: he demands control, he dismisses others, he has hypocritical behavior, he stifles individuality, he dictates decisions, he controls excessively, he blames others, he creates instability, he loves conditionally, and he neglects spiritual leadership. What healthy female supportiveness looks like: she encourages growth, she provides constructive feedback, she shares in decision-making, she shows respect, she creates a safe space, she encourages spiritual growth, she balances strengths, she maintains healthy boundaries, she practices gratitude, and she builds partnership. What unhealthy female supportiveness looks like: she sacrifices herself, she avoids accountability, she is overly passive, she uses criticism or disrespect, she holds grudges, she neglects spiritual partnership, she overcompensates for her partner's weaknesses, she enables poor behavior, she focuses on negativity, and she acts subordinate. A new relationship versus a committed relationship.
You allowed someone, a perfect stranger, to invade your fortress, right? Break through your barriers, and just were super open to bringing them in your home or whatever it is, let alone if you're getting physically intimate and so on and so forth, right? Perfect stranger. You don't know this person. Now you're 2, 3, 4 years in, and now it's like some people are more willing to share their thoughts and their feelings or whatever it is with random strangers. Now it's like you no longer are giving this to your partner, and now your walls are basically, like you said, they're up.
Yeah. And they're up because you want to maintain that illusion of perfection. That's really what it is. It's this unconscious desire to feel perfect. And people may not like to hear that, but that's really what it is. If you don't want another person to complain about anything you've ever done, that means that you expect to be viewed as perfect. Correct. And that's problematic.
The person that you say you love, you are locking them out. They're not being given the same access to you that they did when they barely even knew who you were. It's like you really have to think about that, right? Being able to tap into more empathy, understanding, patience, compassion for the other person.
Patience, understanding, compassion, and empathy in relationships. Patience is the ability to remain calm and composed when faced with challenges, disagreements, or unmet expectations, allowing space for growth and change in your partner. Understanding is the act of seeking to truly know your partner's thoughts, feelings, and perspective without judgment or assumption. Compassion is offering kindness, care, and concern for your partner's struggles or vulnerabilities, even when they affect the relationship. And empathy is feeling and validating your partner's emotions by stepping into their shoes and recognizing their experiences. Three practical tools for healthy relationship practices. Number 1, active listening. to improve understanding and empathy. Listening without interrupting, judging, or preparing your response. Focus entirely on your partner's words, tone, and body language. Reflect back what you heard, as in, what I hear you saying is, to ensure clarity and show you value their perspective. Number 2, the pause technique to improve patience. Taking a moment to breathe and reflect before reacting, especially during conflict or frustration. When tension arises, pause, take a few deep breaths, and ask yourself, what is the best way to respond lovingly in this moment? And number 3, perspective taking to improve compassion and empathy. This requires imagining how your partner might be feeling and why, given their experiences and their current challenges. Ask yourself, what might they be feeling right now? Or directly ask them, can you help me understand what you're going through? These tools help build a foundation of trust, kindness, and emotional connection, which are critical for healthy and lasting relationships. True love, sex, and intimacy. Yeah, I wanted to say something real quick before you move on, honey. Before you move on to the next phase, it was something that you said about sex going down after the honeymoon phase. There's something that I want every single, just because society has lied to you, that I want every single hetero man watching this to understand. If you are in a monogamous relationship with a woman, sex frequency is going to go down. It's going to go down. If you have any expectation to be in a monogamous relationship with a woman, sex frequency is going to go down. The reason it's going to go down is because the chemical cocktail of infatuation is different than the chemical cocktail of love. So once she loves you, sex is going to go down. Society tells men the opposite. Society tells men that sex stays up when she loves you, but it's actually quite the opposite. Once she loves you, I'll make sure I make this clear, sex frequency is going to start to go down. That doesn't mean it's going to stay down, but this is the part that a lot of men don't want to hear. This is the process is this. When you first meet the person, and when I say first meet, I mean up to about 2 years in that honeymoon phase, okay? You don't have to do much for sex frequency because both of you are operating on unconsciously. It's the chemicals and all of that, okay? Once you are in love, like not in love, because that word means almost nothing. But once you love each other, like truly love each other, right? Almost like this person is part of me now. We're family now. Once you truly love this person, the infatuation starts to decrease. The chemical mixture starts to change. But that's a good thing. The reason it's a good thing is because when sex frequency starts to increase again in your relationship, you know for certain that it's you that she wants at that point. Because in the beginning, it's not you that she wants. That's not what's actually happening at all. Because she doesn't really even know you like that yet. She's not choosing to still have sex with you, even though she knows all your flaws, all your weaknesses, all your pains, all your trauma. No, she's doing it unconsciously. So there's something unconscious driving her desire for it. Once she loves you, though, when you're able to get that sex frequency to increase again, that's how you know that she truly desires to have sex with you. I just wanted to say that because a lot of men, unfortunately, society doesn't really tell you that. Now, again, some men watching this might be like, well, it's better not to be in a monogamous relationship. I'll say, you're right. It's not for everybody. Don't. Do you. Like, I'm not saying it has to be. I'm saying at all. I'm not saying it has to be. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is but this is why men don't like it. It's because now he has to learn how to please her. So before, he didn't have to learn how to please her sexually. He could just let things just happen. But when the frequency starts to go down, it's a sign that he now has to learn how to please her. But that's a good thing because once he learns how to please her, now you're creating a sexual dynamic where you're both enjoying it and you're both going to start to crave it more naturally with each other. Work more frequently in the quality and all of that. So I just wanted to say that. And again, I want to make it clear. If you think like it's too much work for you, it probably is. Like that quote says, what is it? If you think you can, or if you think you can't, you're right. You're probably right. So if you think you can't, be in a monogamous relationship because it's too much work for you to learn how to please your partner in bed, that's fine. Long story short, when she loves you, sex frequency is going to drop. I just wanted to say that. It is. Doesn't mean it's going to stay there, but it just means that it will start to drop. And then you're going to have to now put in the work to learn how to create a satisfying sexual dynamic in your relationship for the both of you. So that's just, it is what it is. Improving sexual intimacy in a relationship does require courage, because it challenges both partners to confront fears, insecurities, and deeply ingrained beliefs about themselves and their connection. It also requires vulnerability, as sexual intimacy is one of the most raw, personal, and emotionally charged aspects of a relationship, where both partners risk rejection or judgment by revealing their true desires and needs. Women are often socialized to embrace emotional vulnerability, such as sharing feelings, expressing empathy, and seeking connection through words and actions. However, the vulnerability required for sexual intimacy, where desires, fantasy, and insecurities must be openly shared, can feel far more intimidating. This is especially true when societal conditioning has linked their sexual expression to shame or fear of judgment. Many women have grown up with harmful messages such as, "Good girls don't talk about sex." This creates a stigma that sexual thoughts or discussions are inappropriate, forcing women to suppress their desires. Sex is for men. This diminishes the idea of mutual pleasure and makes women feel their sexual needs are secondary or unimportant. Desiring sex makes you less marriageable. This attaches shame to a natural part of human connection, causing guilt or discomfort in expressing sexual needs. These beliefs can lead women to disengage from sexual intimacy, avoid discussions about it, or struggle to fully enjoy and embrace it. Improving sexual intimacy requires unlearning these messages and replacing them with truths about the beauty, normalcy, and importance of sexuality in a healthy relationship. This involves reclaiming sexuality as natural and healthy, recognizing that sexual desire is not shameful, but an integral part of human connection. Women must unlearn the idea that their sexuality is something to suppress or hide, and instead embrace it as a natural and beautiful aspect of their identity. Shifting the narrative, reframing limiting beliefs such as, "Good girls don't desire sex," into empowering truths like, "Sexuality is a part of a healthy, loving relationship." This shift allows women to view sexual intimacy as a meaningful and mutually fulfilling connection rather than a source of shame or obligation. Exploring personal beliefs. Taking time to reflect on how cultural, familial, or religious messages have shaped views about sex and intimacy. Journaling, therapy, or open conversations with trusted partners can help uncover and challenge unhealthy conditioning. Communicating openly with partners. Breaking the silence around sexual desires, boundaries, and fears. Creating a safe space for honest conversations fosters trust and intimacy, helping both partners understand each other's needs and break free from outdated or harmful expectations. Fostering self-acceptance. Embracing your body, desires, and preferences without judgment. Developing confidence in your own sexuality can lead to a greater sense of empowerment and a deeper connection with your partner. By addressing these internalized beliefs, women can move beyond societal conditioning and build a more fulfilling, open, and connected sexual relationship with their partners.